Good evening and welcome to this delayed coverage of the Premier League match between Manchester United and Tottenham at Old Trafford. So the players are in the tunnel. This match is rich in history and tradition, and these two teams have met each other a total of 197 times in all competitions. United have won 95 of those. Spurs have won 53 and 49 have been draws. A win for Spurs today will take them over Manchester City and into second place behind their arch rivals Arsenal. For Manchester United, they're currently fifth right now, and they have won 3 out of their last 5. Spurs 4 out of their last 5, and both teams have recently lost to their arch rivals. So let's begin as usual with the starting lineups. Starting with Manchester United, who is managed by Eric Ten Hag. This is his 10th Premier League game in charge, of course. He's playing a 4-2-3-1 system, and there's one change from their last game in the 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Rashford is in for Cristiano Ronaldo. So United line up as follows: David De Gea in goal, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Rafael Varane, and Diogo Dalot at the back. Fred and Casemiro in the holding midfield roles, with Jadon Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, and Antony in the attacking midfield role. The prolific Antony has 3 goals in 4 Premier League games, and Rashford is the sole striker up front. So for Tottenham Hotspur, managed by Antonio Conte, one change for them. Bissouma comes in for the injured Richarlison, and Antonio Conte lines up as follows: Hugo Lloris in goal. One more clean sheet will be his 125th in his Premier League career. At the back, Ben Davies, Eric Dyer, and Christian Romero, with Ivan Perisic and Matt Doherty operating as wing backs. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Yves Bissouma, and Rodrigo Betancourt are the centre midfielders, with Son Heung-min and Harry Kane up front. 2 more assists for Harry Kane will make it 50 for him in his Premier League career. The substitutes are as follows. For Manchester United, the substitute goalkeeper is Tom Heaton, Victor Lindelof, Tyrell Malacia. Christian Eriksen is just unable to fend off an illness. Facundo Pellistri, if he comes on today, will make his Manchester United debut. Scott McTominay, Alejandro Garnacho, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Anthony Elanga make up the Manchester United substitutes. For Tottenham Hotspur, Fraser Forster, Davison Sanchez, Jed Spence, Japhet Tanganga, Clement Longlet, Oliver Skip, Ryan Sessegnon, Brian Gill, the Spaniard. He will make his first appearance this season for Spurs if he does come on. And Lucas Moura wraps up the substitutes for Tottenham Hotspur. Our referee today is Simon Hooper, and his assistants are Ian Hewson and Adrian Holmes. Andy Madley is on fourth official duty today. And in the VAR booth at Stockley Park is Michael Oliver and Dan Robertson. So just before we get underway here, I'm just going to run you through some of the latest scores. It is Bournemouth 0, Southampton 0. Chelsea and Brentford are locked at 0-0 at the Brentford Community Stadium. It is Liverpool 1, West Ham 0, but I understand West Ham have a penalty there, so we'll come back to that in a moment. And it's Newcastle 1, Everton 0, and in the in the Sky Bet Championship, it's Birmingham 0, Burnley 0, Blackpool 0, Hull 1, Coventry 0, Sheffield United 0. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Cardiff City 0, Wigan 0, Middlesbrough 0, and Millwall 1, Watford 0. Just waiting to see if West Ham score that penalty. Just a couple of things to mention about this game. The first meeting between these two teams was not in the league, it was an FA Cup match. And it was a then Tottenham Hotspur it was a then Newton Heath versus Tottenham Hotspur. They first met at Northumberland Park, which finished 1-1. 15,000 was on the 28th of January 1899. The replay was won by Spurs against Newton Heath in Manchester. Backstreet Clayton was the venue, and 6,000 were present. We're about to get underway here. Spurs in their change strip of blue and black with black shorts, well, more purple and black, really, with black shorts and yellow socks. They'll be attacking the Stretford end in this first half. Manchester United are in red and white. And Liverpool in the Liverpool versus West Ham game, that penalty was missed actually, so that is still Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. And just clearing up the back at the back there is Anthony Alanga, and it goes back to David De Gea. Here is Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw just plays the ball over the halfway line. He's looking for Sancho, but Sancho was challenged hard from behind by Betancourt, and the ball does go out of play for a throw-in for Manchester United. The ball is sprayed out onto the far side to Dalot. Dalot now. He's just holding the ball up, and he launches the ball over on the far side back to Shaw. And United just building up slowly here from the back. They need a win today. A lot of the supporters disappointed with the 0-0 draw against Newcastle. Here's Dalot. Dalot, long ball again, over looking for Shaw. United at the moment playing width to width across the pitch. They are, of course, in their red shirts, white shorts, black socks. It's played forward. Just looking for Rashford there, but that was comfortably intercepted. And here's Son. Son now. He just gives the ball back on the far side now to Betancourt. He plays the ball to Son. Son just looking for some space. And he plays the ball, and it's a bad ball. It's easily picked up there by Dalot. Dalot gives it to Casemiro. And here's Shaw again. Martinez in the field there, just looking for Sancho, but it was intercepted that time by Højbjerg. And Spurs now have the ball with Harry Kane. Harry Kane plays the ball out onto the far side. That's a really good ball to Doherty. Doherty to Betancourt. Can he get the ball in? Oh, it's a disappointing one. And it's comfortably cleared away, but it's won back. And here's Son now, trying to dance his way into the penalty area. But he's blocked, and Spurs do win the ball back with Doherty. Doherty just being pressed back right now, and Spurs being pressed back into their own half. Here's Højbjerg. And Davis now down on this near side. Davis back to Højbjerg. Plays it to Perisic. Perisic goes all the way back to Hugo Lloris on from the halfway line. And Hugo Lloris has the ball now, and he clears the ball downfield. Looking for Kane. It's just above Kane's head, and it's picked up by Rafael Varane, who gives the ball to Martinez. Here's Shaw. Midway inside his own half. Almost loses it, but Shaw gets the ball back. Shaw plays the ball forward, chasing that. Oh, it's given away there by Dyer. And here's a chance now for Manchester United. Anthony there tries to get the shot away, but it's blocked. Picked up again by Sancho. Spurs not able to clear. Fernandes plays the ball in. It's headed away this time by Davis, but still United. And it's Dalot. He's got Anthony with him. He chooses not to give the ball to him. Dalot created some space for himself, but the shot is way wide. And it'll be a goal kick for Tottenham Hotspur, but a promising start for Manchester United. The ball there, he might have been better just feeding the ball to Anthony. He chose not to do that. Pulled inside to the edge of the penalty area, struck the shot, but it was way wide of Hugo Lloris's goal. And here's Dyer again now, who nearly gives the ball away for a second time. Kane has it now, and here's Højbjerg. Højbjerg, midway inside his own half here. What can he do with it? Højbjerg slips the ball back again to Dyer, who's had a very shaky start. Dyer gives the ball to Basuma. In, of course, for the injured Richarlison. Here's Betancourt. Son. And it's played inside now to Betancourt. He's got a bit of space. Gets it shot away! Oh, he just whistles wide of the right-hand post. And might have had De Gea beaten there, but also beats the far post. Let's have a look at this again. Betancourt, it's a great move. He cuts inside and gets the shot away. Just whistles away from that right-hand post. And it will be now United with the De Gea with the goal kick. Casemiro. And he gives it to Shaw. Shaw comes over the halfway line. And he finds Fernandez. Fernandez offside, surely. And in fact, there's a foul on Fernandez, but he is in fact offside. So you are listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's player of the match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. And Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partner for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. And you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. Romero. And he gives it back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris, left-footed. Searcher now on the far side for Perisic, but he's just not able to reach it. And it goes out of play for a throw-in for Manchester United midway inside the Tottenham half. 5 minutes gone here. Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0. You're listening to Paul James with delayed coverage of Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur. And United have the ball inside their own half here. It's Varane. Oh, it's a superb ball in midfield to Casemiro. He plays the ball forward looking for Rashford. And Hugo Lloris was off his line. He was almost caught there by Anthony. Well, he's going to have to be on the ball a little bit more, is Hugo Lloris. Because let me tell you, he was way off his line here. The ball was actually played by Fred. And he found... Hugo Lloris came out. It was intercepted actually by Romero, and Anthony's shot did not beat Lloris, but Lloris did spill it. It should have been gathered, and United now have it now with the shot by Fred. Oh, super save by Lloris. Well, he was equal to that one, and Fred from about 25 yards out. Oh, it was dipping. Good save by Hugo Lloris to be a corner to Manchester United, their second. And from that quick corner from Lloris's spill earlier on, it created that opportunity for Fred. Good save by Lloris. Fernandez now with the corner. Be the second in about a minute. He outswings it. The header this time is over by Casemiro. And it will be a goal kick for Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Ronaldo on the bench. No, you can tell by the look on his face, he's not very pleased at being left on the bench. And the clearance service is a poor one by Romero, and United have the ball again. Spurs very sloppy in defence early on. They've been giving the ball away quite a few times. They are pressing Manchester United back now. Manchester United pressed all the way back to their goalkeeper, David De Gea. He clears the ball downfield, and it's just controlled there, or miscontrolled, I should say, by Sancho. And Spurs have the ball back on the halfway line. Here's Dyer. Højbjerg. Goes back to Haya. And here's Basuma. Spurs just being pressed back themselves to the edge of their own penalty area. Cleared forward. Here's Son. Son does an excellent dummy, which leaves some space here for Perisic. Perisic now racing towards the Manchester United penalty area. Cuts inside. Tries to get the crossing, but it's a disappointing one. Headed out, but only as far as Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Davis. And here's Basuma. Infield to Betancourt. Betancourt's got some space. He's being held up, but he manages to give the ball back. Davis is dispossessed, this time by Casemiro. And here's Sancho for Manchester United. Fernandez just inside the centre circle. Gives it to Dalot. Fernandez, long ball over on the far side looking for Shaw. It's a good pass. Gives it to Sancho, back to Shaw. Spurs setting up almost in a 3-4-3 formation. I know the intended formation was 3-5-3. And United have the ball here. It's Shaw. And we've got the win probabilities are very similar right now. 34% for Manchester United, 36% for Spurs, 30% a draw. Here's Dalot now, midway inside the Manchester United half. And Anthony cuts inside. He's very dangerous. Anthony gets a shot. Oh, he just clips the outside of the post. Oh, Anthony very close to his 4th goal there. Well, it was a beautiful shot, curling away from Lloris, and it just smacks the outside of the post and goes wide. Oh, that's the closest we've come to a goal so far. Anthony already 3 goals in 4 games, nearly 4 in 5 there. Oh, and almost a bad giveaway there by Basuma. And, well, he was lucky he got the credited for the foul on him there, because otherwise United would have won the ball back. Fred almost dispossessed Basuma there. Here's Perisic, plays the ball forward for Kane, and Kane just not able to find Perisic. Looks like he was dispossessed that time, but the ball does go out of play, and Spurs continue to get the... Oh, there's a stoppage. There's another ball on the field there. That was a quick throw-in taken by Doherty, looking to set Kane on his way. The referee pulls it back because there was another ball on the pitch. Throw-in to be taken by Perisic. Just taking his time this time. Looking this time for Doherty. Didn't able to find him. And right now it is Davis just challenging alongside Dalot there. Davis not able to win the ball. United have possession. And it's just almost given away there by Anthony. In fact, it was. And it was given to Basuma, who just shields possession of the ball and gives it back to Hugo Lloris, the captain for Tottenham Hotspur. Fernandes, of course, wearing the armband for Manchester United. 12 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 0, Spurs 0. Perisic gives it back to Højbjerg, who goes all the way back again to Hugo Lloris. Spurs being really pressed back by Manchester United. It's been a very impressive start by the Red Devils in this one, and it's almost given away again. And Spurs are not reacting. Ramiro this time won the ball, gave it to Højbjerg, but nearly given away again. And now United do win the ball back, and it's Fred, but Fred is just dispossessed, and now Harry Kane's on his way. Kane to Perisic, streaming towards the Manchester United penalty area. What can he do? Perisic, bit of space. Oh, he just loses possession of the ball. Well, he was under pressure from Varane, and he just knocked the ball in front of him. The touch wasn't great by Perisic, and it just rolls out of play, and he looks very disappointed with that. Be a goal kick to Manchester United, and well, it's not even going to be taken by David De Gea. It's actually taken by Shaw. De Gea gets it back. It clears it left-footed downfield. But won here by Basuma. Basuma just shielding the ball from 2 Manchester United players. Here's Davis. And it's picked up by Kane. Kane on the far side looking for Doherty. Doherty, can he swing the ball in? But it's a good interception by Shaw, who takes it square in the face and goes down. We're going to have a stoppage in play here because he's taken that square in the face. We're going to get some scores from around the country right now. Half-time in the Premier League games, it's Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0, and Newcastle United 1, Everton 0. We got some games in the Championship going on as well. Birmingham 0, Burnley 0, Blackpool 1, Hull City 1, and Coventry 0, Sheffield United 0, QPR 2, Cardiff 0, Wigan 1, Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 2, Watford 0. And we're back underway here, and the throw-in is knocked out of play by Fred, and there'll be another throw-in about 5 yards from the corner flag, which is to be taken by Doherty. And Doherty gives it to Basuma. Basuma back to Davis. He's got space in front of him. Davis gives it to Højbjerg. Højbjerg to Dyer. And the ball is played over the halfway line looking for Kane. Kane just shielding the ball. He's under pressure by Shaw. but he keeps possession. Here is Betancourt, Romero, Bissouma. Goes back to Dyer, and Dyer gives it to Højbjerg now. Looking for space, it's Son. Son now gives the ball out to Perisic. May want that ball back, but Perisic finds Davis. Can Davis get a crossing? He can. Oh, it's just headed on there by Betancourt, but it's blocked by Varane. United clear it. And here is Anthony now. Anthony under pressure from Perisic. Gives it back to Dalot, who goes all the way back to David De Gea in the Manchester United goal. Clears it left-footed. Looking for Rashford, but it goes over Rashford's head and goes out of play for a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. Well, 15 minutes gone. It's Manchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Perisic now with the throw-in. He goes back to Dyer, who goes back to Hugo Lloris. Well, Spurs now, they've attempted to create one or two chances of their own, but they have definitely looked shaky at the back early on. Here's Romero. Gives it to Doherty. It's played forward, but it's a poor ball and comfortably picked up by Martinez. And United have the ball back now with Casemiro. Gives it to Fernandes. Out on the far side there. Shaw. Fred. Casemiro. Gives it to Dalot. Dalot swings the ball in, but it's just headed away by Dyer. Only as far as Dalot. Here's Varane. Dalot. Being pressed back, United now at the halfway line. And Dalot plays it off Højbjerg, so it'll be a throw-in to Manchester United. Well, just inside their own half. Here's Fred. Over the halfway line. That's a good challenge by Betancourt. Knocks the ball out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United, about 10 yards inside the Tottenham half of the field. And he plays it all the way back to Raphael Varane. And it's back with the goalkeeper. Varane gets it back off De Gea. De Gea, oh, just an overstep that time by Fred. Great move. Here's Fernandes, played out on the far side to Shaw. United have got space in front of them. Options in the penalty area. Sancho, Rashford. Here is Fernandes. Here is Anthony. Anthony. Fred. Back to Anthony. Down to Dalot on this side. United just trying to find a way through this Tottenham backline. Here is Varane. Shaw. Out on the far side. Cuts inside, it's Sancho in the penalty area, plays the ball across, cleared away but by Dyer, but not far enough, only as far as Sancho, but it whips it back in. And it's just chested back by Perisic to the Tottenham goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. That brings that attack to an end. And we've got other goals in the Championship. Hull have just taken the lead against Blackpool, and Millwall have added a third goal at the New Den against Watford. They are 3-0 up now. It's back with Hugo Lloris. Lloris just plays the ball over to Davis, just over Anthony's head. And Davis now moving forward over the halfway line. It's Harry Kane. Kane, long ball over on the far side to Doherty. Doherty cuts inside. Real chance. Shot and just pulled wide. Oh, that was a good opportunity by Doherty. Cut inside. That's probably Spurs' best opportunity so far. Really should have hit the target there. Oh, it was a beautiful ball by Harry Kane. Right at the feet of Doherty. Cuts inside. Tries to curl the shot, but it's away from the goal. And it's a goal kick. And now United breaking forward with Della. Della to Anthony. Been dangerous in this first half as Anthony. Already hit the post once. Anthony. And it's back to Raphael. Raphael Varane, who gives it to Casemiro. Ball launched over the top here. Looking for Rashford. Can he get a chance here? He's in the penalty area. It's being watched closely, though, by Betancourt. And it's back to Fernandes. Fernandes may rifle one from here, but it's blocked. And here on this side is Anthony. Back with Anthony now. And he goes back to Rafael Varane, who goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Well, both sides have had chances as we hit the 20-minute mark. It's still 0-0, but both sides have had chances in this first half, it has to be said. And there is a foul here on Sanchez by Doherty. Doherty asking Simon Hooper why he's given that. Didn't look much of a foul to me, but Manchester United do get a free kick. And it's played forward now, knocked back to Casemiro. He goes down to Dalla. Dalla just knocks it back to Anthony. And it's Fred now. Fred plays the ball through. Oh, it's a beautiful pass to Rashford. Super save. Oh, that's United's best chance of the first half. A beautiful pass by Fred through to Rashford. And Rashford one-on-one with Lloris. And what a super save by the French international. Well, that gives United their third corner, which Bruno Fernandes will now take. But what a super save by Hugo Lloris. Fernandes plays it short to Sanchez. Back to Rashford that caused that save. Fred is fouled there, surely. That's a late challenge there by Romero, and he's going to go into the book for that. That's going to be that was a very, very late challenge, and that is worthy of a yellow card. Fred still down. And, well, United have got options over this. Well, I thought it was a yellow card. There's not been any kind of confirmation I've received yet. Nothing on my monitor confirming the yellow card. So I got to assume that yellow card wasn't in fact given. And I'm very surprised because that was a very late challenge. That is not a yellow card. I suppose the referees this season have been encouraged to keep the cards in the pocket. Anyway, we've got a free kick here for Manchester United. Fernandes is over it. And also over this is, it looks like Rashford as well. But I suspect this will be Fernandes. It's certainly Fernandes' territory. Luke Shaw is over it too, by the way, as part of his three-man free kick committee. It's Fernandes with the shot. Oh, and another super save by Hugo Lloris. Well, that's three huge saves now by Lloris in this first half. It was swinging a little bit. A good save. It'll be another corner to Manchester United. And with Manchester United hitting the post as well, Spurs really are under the cosh right now. It's Bruno Fernandes with the corner. He plays it short to Casemiro. It's a shot, it's deflected, and it'll go for this. The shot was actually by Rashford, which was blocked, and it looped over the crossbar. It'll be another corner to Manchester United, their fourth. Bruno Fernandes will be over this one again as Manchester United continue to turn the screws on the Spurs defence. It's corner for Bruno Fernandes. 23 minutes gone here. This time he swings it in. It's just headed away by Dyer. He gets some distance on it, but Shaw picks it back up and gives it back to Fernandes. Fernandes swings it in again. Dyer again with the header. Played out as far as Fred, who goes all the way back. Good defending that time by Dyer. Two vital headers. And it's cleared by De Gea. And it's one back. Here's Jadon Sancho again. And it's back now on this near side to Anthony. Anthony finds Dalot. Dalot tries to beat Perisic. Darryl gets the cross in. And it's right over on the far side of the volley. A super save! Once again by Lloris, who's keeping Tottenham in this game. And it's a super save from the volley from Luke Shaw, by the way. And he swung it across, and Luke Shaw caught it beautifully on the volley. And a super, super save. And Bruno Fernandes with the fifth Manchester United corner, as Spurs are under pressure right now by this Manchester United team. And it's Bruno Fernandes outswinging it this time to Fred, who tries to have a crack on the volley, but it's blocked this time by Davis. Sancho plays it to Fernandes. Fernandes to Dalot, switched. Dalot over on the far side to Anthony, who tries to keep it in play, but he wasn't successful. And it goes behind for a goal kick. And with 25 minutes gone here, it's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0. And the reason why it's 0-0 is one Hugo Lloris, who has made 4 fantastic saves in this game. Beautifully caught on the volley. How did he keep that out? I mean, okay, it wasn't either side of him, but that was caught perfectly with a lot of pace on it. Super save by Hugo Lloris. And already 10 attempts by Manchester United on goal, 4 on target, 4 super saves by the Frenchman, getting himself in form for the forthcoming World Cup. And well, it's now with Sanchez right in the middle of the park. Ball out to Dalot. And this is a very absorbing game to watch. Here's Anthony. Anthony again. And this time he decides to go back to his own goalkeeper, David De Gea. De Gea plays it out to Shaw, who caught that beautifully on the volley. Well, in the last 3 games, of course, Manchester United won the last 3 games against Tottenham. And since that 6-1 loss at Old Trafford, outscoring Tottenham 9-3 in the last 3 games. And here's Fernandes. Fernandes with a shot this time, and it's blazed over the crossbar. Wasn't a million miles away. It's Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0. And it was a good effort. This time, Hugo Lloris not called into action, just watches it go over the crossbar. Well, this has been a frantic 26 minutes here at Old Trafford. We're still 0-0. And here's Bissouma. Bissouma sprays it out to the right-hand side. It's Doherty, controls it well. And here's Bissouma again. Doherty to Betancourt. He was fouled. That'll be a free kick. It was a tackle from behind. And the referee, Simon Hooper, determines that that is a foul. Well, you are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live, and you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. Bruno Fernandes has it in the middle of the park here. Bruno Fernandes, and he gives it to Shaw. Back to Fernandes to Sancho. United just keeping possession, dominant in this first 27 minutes of this game. David De Gea clears it downfield, and Dyer's under pressure here from Fred, but good work by Dyer, just edges it to Ramiro. Ramiro now gives it back to Dyer, and Dyer does not do himself any justice, plays that pass to Doherty, wayward of him. It's how to play. It's going to be a throw into United. Midway inside the Tottenham half of the field. And here Shaw again. Back to Casemiro. Out over on the far side to Dalla. Dalla's got space in front of him. Gives it to Anthony. The impressive Anthony. Plays it to Dallo. Back to Casemiro. Sancho. Shaw. Good work by Manchester United. Back to Casemiro, and it's shot! Oh, he just whistles wide of the post! Oh, Casemiro coming close to his first goal for Manchester United there. Oh, that is a wonderful strike. Just gets it back. He's almost 28 yards out, and it just whistles wide. It left Lloris standing. And maybe Lloris didn't see it till the last minute, but it just whistled wide. And if that was on target, that would have been 1-0. And United continue to put the pressure on Tottenham here. And Fernandes loses it, and Spurs can now try and break out. The ball is long, looking for Son, but David De Gea is clearing up at the back, acting as a sweeper. His pass wasn't the best, so it does go out for a throw-in. And it's going to be a throw which Ivan Perisic will take midway inside the Manchester United half of the field. We've had no goals, but my goodness me, has it been entertaining. 73% possession for Manchester United in the last 10 minutes. Here's Ramiro. Ramiro out to Doherty. The wing back, Doherty, gives it back to Ramiro. Well, we've had some excitement in this first half now, and here's Ben Davis. He's the other wing back. Gives it to Perisic, back to Højbjerg. Højbjerg back to Dyer. He's had some shaky moments in this first half. Dyer gives it to Basuma. And it's forward looking for Kane. Kane is not able to get very far forward. Has played very deep at the back, if you will, almost close to a midfield position for Kane at the moment. Really not been able to get forward. Perisic, Son, dispossessed, but Spurs win it back. Good tackle by Højbjerg. Here's Perisic now. What can he do with it? Gives it to Davis. His pass is weak, and it's intercepted by Casemiro easily. And he gives the ball here now to Fernandes. Fernandes, though, gives it away, and Basuma, what can he do with it? Basuma gives it to Perisic. To Son. Basuma. Højbjerg. And Højbjerg gives it back to the centre circle to Dyer. Dyer just exploring his options. He gives it to Ramiro. That ball is forward looking for Kane. It's knocked on with the header, but it's to no one, and it's comfortably picked up and cleared away. And just cleared up at the back there by Martinez. Martinez gets the ball back, and he goes back to De Gea as we all try to catch our breaths. And it's a ball to Dalot. Dalot plays it to Shaw. And back to Martinez. Shaw. Martinez. He's got space in front of him. Nice ball over on the far side to Dalla. Let's see now. Dalla crossing the halfway line. Plays the ball over to Shaw, who's been a threat in this first half. Shaw. Sancho now. Level with the penalty area. Gives it back to Fernandes. That's not a good enough ball to Anthony. And it's comfortably intercepted by Perisic. And he's streaming forward now. What options does he have? Well, he chooses to go back to Davis. And Dyer now has the ball. And we just got the half times in from the Championship. Birmingham 0, Burnley 0, Blackpool 1, Hull 2, Coventry 0, Sheffield United 0, QPR 2, Cardiff 0. Almost at half time, Millwall 3, Watford 0. Here's Kane. Kane gives the ball out to Perisic on the far side. Perisic cuts inside, gives the ball to Højbjerg. To Son. Son's got space in front of him. Son with a shot, but it's comfortably wide as far as David De Gea is concerned. And we have 33 minutes gone here at Old Trafford. It is Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0, and Alex Ferguson is there. Well, Tottenham Hotspur there as looking at Alex Ferguson. He at one point shook hands with Tottenham Hotspur in 1984 to potentially become the manager. Obviously that fell through and eventually went to Manchester United, and the rest is history. Cleared forward and headed on by and here's a chance. And it looks like the crowd are claiming a foul on Fernandes. It was launched forward by Rafael Varane, and Fernandes just tried to get ahead of Ramiro, but it just bounced to the goalkeeper anyway. No harm as far as Tottenham Hotspur is concerned. Here is Eric Dyer. And played forward. Oh, that's a terrible ball that time. And Manchester United win the ball back. And here is Shaw. Gives it to Sancho. Fred to Dalot. Dalot to Anthony. And it's crossed in by Casemiro. It's not the best cross, They're claiming handball there against Dyer, but that's not going to be given. And he had his hand by his side. Hopeful claims by Manchester United, but they are not going to get that. And Rafael Varane plays it back to his goalkeeper. And cleared downfield by De Gea. And it's in the middle of the park, and it's just knocked out of play that time by Dalot. Will be a throw into Tottenham, almost on the halfway line. It did. Michael Oliver did just have a brief look at that, but it was easily turned away because it would have been a ridiculous penalty decision to give. Perisic with the throw in now, exactly on the halfway line. And it's knocked on by Kane. He was looking for Son, but instead Varane was there, who clears the ball downfield, and it's now picked up by Antony. Antony pressing at the Spurs defence, terrorising the Spurs defence. Played in field to Rashford. Rashford goes down. There's not going to be a penalty given for that. And the Spurs defenders are letting Rashford know about it. It looks like it was a little tangle with Højbjerg. Well, he's got his hand on him. He definitely made contact. But as soon as he felt it, he went down. I'm really glad they didn't give a penalty for that. Here is Casemiro. His ball is disappointing, but United do win the ball back. Casemiro has another chance. This time he gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes to Rashford. Out to Sancho. Sancho to Fernandes in the penalty area, looking for Fred, but good work by Dyer intercepting that. And United win the ball back, though, and it's Sanchez again. Gives it to Fred. Fred tries to get the ball across, and Spurs are at 6s and 7s at the back. They almost let Antony in. Well, I don't know what they was doing there. Lloris came out to clear it in the end, and now there's a foul, or at least there should have been. He was wrestled to the ground in what was worse than a rugby tackle. The referee allows the game to go on, though. I'm not sure whether he just didn't see it. And now it's getting feisty out there, and here's Dalot. And it's Antony now. Oh, good move by Antony, selling Perisic the dummy. Here's Antony. Oh, his ball back there was almost lost, but he gets another chance. Antony gives the ball to Casemiro. Fred looking for an opportunity. Fred with a shot, and it just whistles wide. Oh, Manchester United come so close again that time. Well, this is Manchester United. This is the best I've seen them play all season. And Fred with the opportunity there. This time just skews it. Actually, it was a lot wider than I initially first thought, to be honest. But it does, in fact, go wide. But Manchester United in control of this game at the moment. And it's given away again by Tottenham Hotspur. This time by Højbjerg. And it's Casemiro that plays it back to Sancho. Sancho gives it to Dalot. Is he looking to line up? He does. It's blocked. Looks like Dyer. And immediately the referee will pull that because Dyer took it full flush in the face. And down he went. And we're going to have a stoppage in play here. While we're doing that, we'll just run you through the latest scores in the Premier League. It's Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1. And the goal scorer there was Shea Adams after 9 minutes. And it is Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0. The scorer there is Darwin Núñez. And Newcastle United 1, Everton 0. And the scorer is Miguel Almiron after 31 minutes. Second half have gone underway in the Championship. It's still Birmingham 0, Burnley 0 at St Andrews, Blackpool 1, Hull 2 at Bloomfield Road, Coventry City 0, Sheffield United 0, QPR 2, Cardiff 0 at Loftus Road, Wigan 1, Middlesbrough 2. They've just scored, in fact, Middlesbrough to make that 2-1. It's still half-time at the New Den. It's Millwall 3, Watford 0. In the Spanish La Liga, we have some games going on today. It's Cadiz 0, Betis 0. That's a final. Valladolid 4, Celta Vigo 1 is also a final. There's 5 minutes left between Real Sociedad and Mallorca. It is 1-0 to Real Sociedad, and it's half time, and it's Elche 0, Real Madrid 1. So you're right up to date with the scores in England and also in La Liga. So he's on his feet now is Eric Dyer, just taking a drink and recovering, because that would have been a very painful shot to the face there with a ball. One always feels sorry for players that actually take that kind of hit with a shot. So close, and we're just going to see now what Simon Hooper's going to do with the ball as we hit the 40th minute mark. He just hands the ball back about 45 yards from goal to Hooper to Manchester United. He gives it to Dalot. Dalot to Anthony. Dalot. And here's Varane. Varane gives it to Martinez. Shaw. Shaw just tries to cut away there from Doherty. Gives it to Sancho, but does get it back. And here's Martinez. And United now just passing around around the middle of the Tottenham Hotspur half. Long ball over on the far side by Sancho to find Anthony. That's a good ball by Sancho. Here's Anthony. And he gives the ball to Dalot. Dalot back to Shaw. Shaw tries to cross the ball in, but it's comfortable defending by Perisic, who just chests the ball back to Hugo Lloris in the Tottenham Hotspur goal. Well, with 4 minutes to go till half time, I suspect there'll be maybe about 3 or 4 minutes injury time. Hugo Lloris just kicks the ball. It's knocked on by Harry Kane, but United pick it up now with Dalot. Dalot infield here to Casemiro. Casemiro out to Fred and gives it to Anthony. Anthony's got 2 Spurs players in front of him. Gives it back to Casemiro. Back to Fred. And here's Fernandez. Picked up again by Anthony. Anthony so dangerous from these positions. Here's Casemiro. And Fernandez tries to play the ball in. It takes a deflection, but trickles through to the goalkeeper. Well, the Hugo Lloris has the ball in his hand right now. And he plays it left-footed downfield. And here is Son Heung-min. He manages to find Harry Kane. Spurs just look a little bit disjointed right now. But here's Basuma. Gives it to Bentancur. Doherty. And it's Højbjerg again. He's got Davis alongside him. He gives it to Davis. Davis. Back to Højbjerg. Spurs being pressed back here by United. And here's Basuma. Bentancur. And Bentancur gives the ball away. And United now pressing forward. Chasing this is Anthony. Can he keep it in play? He cannot. The ball goes out of play and will be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte, look at that face. He is furious with this, with the way Tottenham are playing right now in this first half. I think, in fairness, it is a wonderful performance by Manchester United. But, yeah, Spurs have not been at their best today, that's for sure. And here's Eric Dyer. And it goes back to Romero and back to Hugo Lloris, who, if it really wasn't for him, it could have been 4-0 for United at this stage. Here's Son. Just gives the ball to Højbjerg, and Højbjerg just gives it away to Dalot in a very disappointing ball. And here is Luke Shaw. Shaw. Infield to Casemiro. Fred. Casemiro, 40 yards from goal. Casemiro's ball is intercepted comfortably by Son. Bad ball that time by Casemiro. And Bentancur now breaking forward for Spurs. Here's Doherty. What can they create? Back to Harry Kane with a shot. And Hugo Lloris made the save. Not Hugo Lloris. David De Gea made the save. And the ball is crossed back in. And Raphael Varane has headed it back to the goalkeeper. And the referee has blown up for something here. And I think it's because he took it in the throat. Down there is, I'm not quite sure who it is. He took it in the throat. He's clutching his throat. The referee was right to stop that. Let's have a look. Cross coming in. I think it's, yeah, well, there was the first save by David De Gea. And then the cross again by Kane was blocked in the throat by Dalot. And Dalot is now down. Now, well, there's going to be a fair whack of stoppage time because the referee was certainly right to stop that. When you get something in the throat like that, we've had, well, there's only 2 minutes injury time. I think that is a very conservative amount being given by Andy Madley there, but he's only given 2 minutes. I suspect the referee will allow a little bit longer than that because 2 minutes, of course, is the minimum. Middlesbrough have extended their lead against Wigan. They are 3-1 up now. Well, the Manchester United players surrounded the referee. I don't know what they were complaining about, whether they were complaining that play wasn't stopped earlier. I don't know. Dalot, I'm glad to report, is back on his feet now. And he's going to be allowed back on the pitch in a moment. We've already played a minute of injury time, so I suspect we'll at least play another couple more, seeing as though that time was consumed when the player was down. Goal kick by De Gea. It's headed forward by Kane, but United have the ball back now over the halfway line. And it's back with Martinez. Martinez back to Luke Shaw. Dalot is back on now. And, oh, that's a rough challenge on Fred, but it does go out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Tottenham Hotspur, almost level with the halfway line, which Matt Doherty will take. We're now playing what discretionary time Simon Hooper is going to allow outside of the 2 minutes, at least a minute, I would suspect. Here's Son. Son gives the ball away, but then it's also given away by Sancho. United do win the ball back, though, and it's dispossessed this time by Dyer. Ball is played to Dyer here. Gives it to Perisic. Perisic, ball played forward, and it's just out of play. And Højbjerg was unable to keep the ball in play there, and it's going to be a throw-in which Dalot will take. Dalot. Just taking his time here, looking for options. The referee will blow for half-time in just a moment, I suspect. The throw-in was a bad one, and it's won back by Spurs. Here's Son. Son gives it to Kane. Kane, oh, good challenge that time by Martinez. Romero comes up from the back to pick it up for Tottenham. It's given to Betancourt. And that's it. That's half-time. Well, what a first half. Dominant by Manchester United. 4 great saves from Hugo Lloris. And Anthony struck the outside of the post. But at half-time, it is still Manchester United 0, Tottenham 0. And you are listening to the Commentary Hub. Welcome back to second half commentary, delayed commentary out this game at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Spurs. Half time, it's 0-0. We're just examining to see if there have been any changes by either team as Manchester United come out for the second half. I think if things continue as they are, I'll be very surprised to see Antonio Conte, if he doesn't make any changes. That would be very, very unusual. Additional goals to tell you about in the Championship: QPR 3, Cardiff 0, Middlesbrough 4, Wigan 1 now. They're just about the remaining Premier League games just sort of coming to a close. Bournemouth 0, Southampton 0, Brentford 0, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 1, West Ham 0, Newcastle 1, Everton 0. So we have no changes from what I can see for the start of the second half. So we are going to get Manchester United are going to get the game underway. They are going to be attacking the Stretford end in this second half. And Bruno Fernandes is just standing over the ball right now. So let's see. Can Manchester United take advantage of some of the pressure that they've had in this first half? Will Spurs come out and be any different in the second? Let's see. David De Gea clears the ball downfield. And it's just picked up there by Casemiro. He gives the ball to Shaw. Shaw to Martinez. Back to Casemiro, who's been extremely impressive in the first half. Martinez. Oh, Martinez gives the ball away to Son. That's a really bad giveaway. Now let's see if Spurs can take advantage of this. That's Bissouma. And here is Højbjerg. Bissouma. Bentancur. And it just played back there by Romero, and Spurs just being pushed back now after being in a promising position. Ball is played forward looking for Kane, and Kane just trying to knock it down to Son. He's not been successful. Those two haven't really connected well in this game, but here come United now, and it's cut inside, and here is Sancho. Back to Fred. Oh, it's in! And Fred scores. Manchester United take the lead. Might have taken a deflection along the way. We'll have a look. And Manchester United get the goal they deserve. 47 minutes. And well, it looks like it took a deflection, and we'll just see exactly what's gone on here, because it first of all came back to Sanchez. Oh yes, it took a deflection, and I'm just trying to see who it took a deflection off. Yes, it took a deflection off Ben Davies. The fact that it was going on target, though, will probably be sufficient enough for Fred to claim that. And it just, yes, it's unfortunate for Lloris, who has been outstanding in this game. But it's Manchester United who take the lead. Sancho's pass to Fred, about 20 yards out when he struck it, took the deflection off Ben Davies, and 1-0 to United. Other goals to tell you about: Birmingham 0, Burnley 1 in the Championship. Johan Berg Gudmundsson got that goal for the Clarets. So they lead Birmingham, and Spurs now on the offensive. Here's Højbjerg, gets a cross in. It's just headed away by Rafael Varane. And here, pushing at the back there, is Casemiro is playing, just clearing that one. He's done well to find Bruno Fernandes, and United break up that attack very well. Here's Shaw. Shaw, long ball over on the far side. Chasing it is Rashford. Rashford's got time and space. What can he do with it? Rashford, he's not close down enough. Good save by Lloris. Well, they just didn't get close enough to Rashford, and he got the shot away. It was a super save again by Lloris. Just been outstanding. And United win the ball back again, and Bruno Fernandes finds Rashford. Spurs back under pressure again. Rashford, a lot of space in front of him. Gets a shot. It's blocked. Gets the shot away, blocked by Dyer, and it goes out of play. But once again, United coming very close. Perisic just didn't get close enough to him. There was too much space, 6 and 7 yards out for him to get that shot away. What a super save from Hugo Lloris. Certainly bailed his defence out there. And, well, I have to be honest, it could have been 5 or 6 without him today. And here now is Dyer. Well, it's a long ball over, looking for Betancourt. It's nodded down. Son gets it. Here's Kane with a chance. Well, that was his first look on goal for Harry Kane. He strikes a shot, and it just goes wide. He's claiming a corner. I don't know if he's going to get what he wants. Let's have a look. Well, it was curling towards the goal, but always going just wide. Yeah, no, I don't think that was a corner, really. I don't think so. Kane is arguing with Martinez, trying to claim it. Well, they've got the corner. It's Tottenham's first. Son and Perisic are over that. I didn't see a deflection there, but it's a Spurs corner nonetheless. They're first. United have had 6. And it looks like it's going to be Ivan Perisic. Oh, he outswings it, gets across it, just headed out there, I think, by Rafael Varane. And it's now with Perisic again. It's back to Son. Son swings the ball in, but it's over everybody's head and just goes wide. Another goal at Bloomfield Road. It's Blackpool 1, Hull 3. Bournemouth 0, Southampton 1 is a final. Brentford 0, Chelsea 0 is a final. Liverpool 1, West Ham 0 is a final. Newcastle are still leading 1-0. They're in the 7th minute of injury time there. So it's played forward by De Gea. And it's won back by Tottenham. Here is Son. Son just gives it back to Højbjerg. And it's played to Dyer. And Dyer gives it to Ramiro. Here's Doherty. Quick passing by Spurs. Betancourt under pressure. He may lose it, but he's helped out by Doherty. Oh, that's a terrible tackle on Højbjerg. Oh, that was very, very late. And yeah, that's our first yellow card of the game. It's gone to Casemiro. That really was an unpleasant challenge. It has to be said. You'll see it here. Could hear it. You could hear Højbjerg cry out in pain. Well, there was also another United player involved there as well. Casemiro may not have been the guilty party there. It might have been the other United player. Not sure who that was. Højbjerg played forward, looking for Kane. Headed away by Varane. And United just trying to pick this up again. But, lazy play by Varane. And here's Doherty. Just gave it away, did Varane. Its cross is swung in by Betancourt. And it's headed on by Perisic. But it goes out of play. Kane was not able to react to that. Another goal in the Championship. Birmingham City 1, Burnley 1. And goal in that game is Hogan. 10 minutes left there. Scott Hogan, the equaliser, as Burnley once again guilty of giving away a late lead. So it's going to be David De Gea with the goal kick, right-footed downfield. And Doherty knocks it on, but United pick it up here with Sancho. Sancho loses it, but it's won back by Fred. And Casemiro is dispossessed. And Spurs do manage to win the ball back, and they take it away from United and just go towards their own goal. And here is Davis. He plays the ball forward, looking for Son. That is a good interception that time by Luke Shaw. And the ball is played by Varane back to Luke Shaw. Shaw. Oh, and it's just knocked on by Fred, but it's a poor ball. And it goes out of play for a throw-in. Doherty. And it's just took the throw in quickly there, but United do win the ball back. And it's gone back to the goalkeeper by Martinez. Good pass by De Gea. Finds out Luke Shaw on this near side. Shaw gives it back to Martinez, who goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. Final at St James's Park. They've held on to a 1-0 victory, Newcastle over Everton. And here is Fernandez. Fernandez plays the ball out on the far side. Here's Anthony. Anthony got time and space in front of him, gets a shot away, but it's wide. Well, that was a good opportunity for Anthony. Found himself with a little bit of space there. Nice pass. And he just skewed it wide, really, just pulled it wide. And it goes behind for a goal kick, which Hugo Lloris will take. And it's cleared forward this time by Ben Davies, but United win the ball back comfortably. And here's Fred, gives it to Sancho. United finding space in the penalty area. Sancho's shot is blocked. Here's Doherty. And it's cleared forward again. This time it's picked up by Harry Kane, but he's dispossessed. Martinez gives it to Shaw. Back to Fernandez. Well, I think Spurs really should be looking at making a substitution soon as we approach the hour mark. 55 minutes gone here. It's Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, and Spurs are being pegged back and defensively look very vulnerable. Fred knocks the ball up in the air. There's two Spurs players go up for it. Neither of them shout. And here comes Bruno Fernandes. And he plays it through for Rashford. Rashford goes down. And the penalty is given. No, actually it's not. I apologise. It went behind for a goal kick. He gave a goal kick. Well, let's have a look. I'm sure VAR will look at it. Fernandes played the ball through. Cutting across. Well, the Stretford end was screaming for a penalty, but so was the Manchester United players. I didn't think there was that much contact, to be honest. So I don't see that decision being reversed. Yeah, here is Hugo Lloris. Tries to clear it, but a good block by Rashford. Ball gets knocked out of play, and it's going to be a throw-in to Tottenham Hotspur. And they throw it all the way back to Hugo Lloris. And it's giving it to Bentancur, who's under pressure, but Bentancur is able to find Højbjerg. Gives it to Perisic. Perisic now streaming over the halfway line. Davis. Højbjerg, what can he do? Can he try to get Spurs back into this game? Bentancur. And it's played forward and wide. Well, we're just about over. We'll run through some finals for you in the Championship when those games end. Here's Fernandes, and he gives it to Shaw. Back to Sancho. Sancho tries to find Shaw again. Shaw just not able to win it. Basuma coming away with it now, but that's a good challenge that wins the ball back for Manchester United, and it looks like that was won back by Dalot. And here's Dalot again. Dalot just gives it to Anthony. Fernandes. Anthony. Back to Casemiro. Out to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw fouled. Well, that'll be a free kick for a foul by Bentancur. No showing of the card. Goal in the Championship. Coventry City 1, Sheffield United 0. And it's a free kick now for Manchester United for the foul by Bentancur, which Bruno Fernandes is over. Fernandes, well, he's about 35 yards out. I think he'll just probably lift it over to the far side, which is exactly what he does, and finds Dalot. Dalot finds Anthony. Of course, it's been very dangerous down on this near side, down on that far side. And here is Fernandes again, who finds Anthony again. Anthony. He's got two Spurs players in front of him, Perisic and Son. Gives it to Fred, who whips the ball in, and there's a free header. for Rashford, but he's just not able to get control over it. It was a wonderful ball in. And Doherty wins it back, but is then challenged by Luke Shaw, and the ball goes out of play. Beautifully whipped cross in, but it just not able to direct his header there was Rashford. But again, he was totally unmarked in there. And once again, I call question to Tottenham Hotspur's defending here. It looks very vulnerable, and I'm surprised at the moment why United haven't really added more goals. Of course, the answer to that is Hugo Lloris. Perisic. And Fred tries to win the ball back. He bounces it off Perisic, but Perisic does get the ball back. It's Basuma. Just stretching to win the ball, and he gives the ball away, in fact, to Casemiro. We've got a United player down now, and the referee has stopped play. So you're listening to alternative commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. You can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Commentary Hub. So we have a United player down right now. Looks like it's Bruno Fernandes. We'll just take a look at scores in the Championship. Birmingham 1, Burnley 1, Blackpool 1, Hull City 3, Coventry 1, Sheffield United 0, Queen's Park Rangers 3, Cardiff 0, Wigan 1, Middlesbrough 4, Millwall 3, Watford 0. And, you know, Bruno Fernandes is just about getting on his feet now, stretching as well as Fred. But we're now at the hour mark, and it's Manchester United 1, Tottenham 0. And I do wonder at which point a substitution is going to be made by Antonio Conte, because frankly, this is not working right now, if we're being honest, for Tottenham. Well, Shaw gets the ball back, and he gives it to Martinez, who goes back to David De Gea, who clears it downfield. It's won and a header by Dyer, and Spurs have the ball back. They go all the way back to Lloris. Manchester United chasing everything in this game. There's a real committed effort from Manchester United. Here comes Spurs now. And it's a good ball out to Doherty. Betancourt couldn't get the ball back, and United win it back. Here's Fred. Anthony. Giving Ben Davies a torrid time. Anthony just plays the ball forward. He's looking for Rashford, but it's a good interception there by Romero, and a foul in turn on Dyer by Fernandes. Dyer will now take this free kick, and he gives it to Romero. And it's played long forward. And it's looking for Kane, but it just goes all the way through to David De Gea. And here is Luke Shaw. Oh, there was a foul on Fred that time by Basuma. No question about that. And United will get the free kick, and it's given to Fred. It's taken quickly. Here's Casemiro. Casemiro plays the ball long across the width of the pitch to Dalot. Anthony. Back with Dalot. And here's Varane. Bruno Fernandes. Dalot. Fernandes. Oh, nice ball infield to Anthony. That's a good ball. And here's Casemiro. Casemiro out on this near side to Shaw. Fred. Sancho. Goes back to Fred. Martinez. Varane. Shaw. Sancho. Casemiro. Long ball over on the far side. Chasing it on the other side there. Dalot. It's back. Oh, it's a good interception that time by Højbjerg, but he loses the ball and United win it back. And it's Anthony now stepping over the ball. Anthony takes a shot and it's actually blocked that time by, looks like Davis that blocked that. And it'll be another corner for Manchester United. I believe it's their 7th. And it'll be Bruno Fernandes over this one. And it's taken quickly. Here's Fernandes again. And he gives it to Casemiro. Fernandes over to Shaw. Back to Shaw again, who plays it all the way back to the goalkeeper. And it's long by David De Gea, and Fred was harassing Betancourt there, and he almost gave the ball away. And Spurs are dilly-dallying with it in defence. Here's Ramiro. He finds Perisic. He's on the other side of the pitch now. Betancourt is fouled by Casemiro. And it's going to be a free kick. Well, Perisic will take it quickly. Ramiro. Dyer to Davis. Davis goes back to Lloris. Well, I have to wonder when I have to pick a player of the match today. Normally, you have to pick it on normally you pick it from the winning team, but I have to be honest. There are players in the Manchester United team I could comfortably pick, but there's one reason right now why this game isn't home and hosed, and that's Hugo Lloris. So we'll see how the rest of the game progresses. Here is Shaw. He goes back to Martinez. Back to David De Gea, who clears it first time, and chasing it is Rashford. And Rashford is away. What can he do with it? Oh, he's just being pushed out wide. That's good defending, actually, by Ramiro. Chased back Rashford and sort of pushed him out wide, away from the goal, and Rashford eventually ran the ball out of play. And it's a goal kick for Tottenham. That's good play by Rashford. By Ramiro. And here is Højbjerg. He goes back to the goalkeeper, Reese, who plays it left-footed downfield. It's won by Harry Kane. Kane goes down very easily. Rafael Varane thinks there was nothing wrong with that. I must say, I thought Kane went down very easily, but let's have a look. Yes, he went down very easily there. But the referee has given it, and Spurs have possession in the centre circle, and it's Dyer and Davis. Dyer. Got 23 minutes left. It's Manchester United 1, Tottenham 0. Dyer over the ball. Højbjerg. And he gives it to Perisic. Perisic gets the better of Gallo. Perisic gets across it. Oh, and Son was waiting there. Well, if he'd have found Son, it would have been 1-1 because Son was unmarked. Spurs still coming forward. It's Davis. Perisic again. He's going to try and whip another one in. He does. It's flicked on, and here's a chance for Kane. Oh, super save by David De Gea. Looked over at the assistant to make sure that Kane was onside. The flag was raised, in fact, so it wouldn't have counted. Here's Fred. Casemiro. Anthony. Well, that was definitely Spurs' best chance. Anthony now gives it to Fernandes. Fernandes is bouncing up. It finds Fred. Fernandes! 2-0! And well, what a strike. Well, as in form as Lloris is, he's not saving that. Well, Bruno Fernandes celebrates, and it is a splendid strike. Well, it's on the 69th minute. And we'll just take a look at that again because it was Fred that had it and it just seemed to bounce up for Fernandez. First of all, initially finds Fernandez. It bounces up to Fred. Fred tries to play the ball past Dyer. He plays it off Dyer and it bounces back to Fernandez, who just strikes it superbly. That is a goal of the season contender right there. And there was no chance at all for Lloris in that situation. And Fernandez's goal is the second for Manchester United. And he allowed the play to go on because Kane was on. It's good refereeing actually by Simon Hooper, because he could have called the offside. He didn't. He allowed the play to go on. And United, of course, went up at the other end and scored. So second half goals from Fred on 47 minutes and now Fernandez on 69 minutes gives Manchester United a 2-0 lead as Spurs get this game back underway. And it has to be said that they now have a mountain to climb. And here's Højbjerg with some space in front of him. Finds Perisic, getting further forward in the second half. Good cross by Perisic and good work by De Gea, who just knocks the ball behind. It'll be a corner to Spurs. We'll go through the results in the Championship in a moment. It's going to be Son to take the corner for for Tottenham. 20 minutes left. It's Manchester United 2, Tottenham 0. And Son outswings it. It's headed out. Looks like it was Varane that got onto that. Son picks it up. And we're back. Spurs are right back at the centre circle now with Højbjerg. And Højbjerg gives it to Basuma. Basuma's got a bit of space. Now he plays it there to Kane. Can Kane get across? And he can. But he only finds Dalla. And Dallo clears it. He was looking to find Sancho, but Højbjerg gets on the end of it and knocks it out of play. Results from the Championship: Birmingham City 1, Burnley 1, Blackpool 1, Hull 3, Coventry 1, Sheffield United 0, QPR 3, Cardiff 0, Wigan Athletic 1, Middlesbrough 4, and Millwall 3, Watford 0 is a later score. They had a delay of some sorts. I'm not sure exactly what that was all about. But they have 4 more minutes left to play plus stoppage time. And there's a foul there on Anthony. Let's have a look. Yes, it was by Ramiro. Just body checks him and actually sandwiched him between Doherty as well. That was painful. And Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench now, still not smiling despite the fact that his side is winning. And here's Rashford, just plays it on. Oh, almost given away. In fact, it was. Son won the ball back but lost it again. And here's Fred. He gives the ball to Fernandez and United breaking forward again. Fernandez gives it to Anthony. Anthony's got Shaw overlapping. He chooses not to play it to Shaw. Gives it to Fernandez. Over on the far side is Sancho. Seems him and Anthony have switched sides. There's a shot by Fernandez, and that was a comfortable save by Hugo Lloris. And you are listening to Alternative Commentary on the Commentary Hub YouTube channel. Today's Player of the Match sponsor on the Hub is sponsored by Commentary Services. Commentary Services would like to thank our broadcasting partners for this season, JB Sports and Storm FM. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Commentary Live 1. And you can like our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. So we continue. And here's Shaw. Shaw, nice work there. Oh, beautiful move by Fred. Selling Romero the dummy. Oh, and his pass is not good. It's incomplete and intercepted by Højbjerg. And Romero now has the ball as Fred tries to win the ball back. Bruno Fernandes gives it to Rashford. Rashford's got space. He gets a shot away. Another super save by Hugo Lloris. Oh, if I was him, I'd be tearing lumps out of this Spurs defence because I will be honest with you, there is way too much space. Dyer does not get close enough at all. And it was an easy shot by Rashford. A super save by Hugo Lloris. who quite honestly probably doesn't deserve to be on the losing side the way he's played today. We're going to have our first substitution. It's going to be a Manchester United one. Scott McTominay is just receiving instructions from Eric Ten Hag. It's not going to take place yet. Bruno Fernandes with a corner. Swung in, header by Dello over the crossbar. And we may get our first substitution now. This will be the first one by either side. He's still running through the instructions. Is Eric Ten Hag with Scott McTominay, as he will make an appearance in this game. And, well, Ben Davies puts the ball out of play far too easily there. It's going to be another throw-in for Manchester United. Almost level with the Spurs penalty area. And United, game management here, just playing the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper, David De Gea, who clears the ball long. They're almost drawing Spurs in as they move forward in numbers. But defensively today, Spurs have left much to be desired. And that's a good ball by Anthony. And Gallo is chasing it. Is that a foul by Davis? The referee says no. Determines that it's a good tackle. But it will be a throw into Manchester United. Here comes the substitution. Let's just take a look and see who's coming off. It's Anthony who's coming off. So Anthony, who's been very effective today, it has to be said. He's the one that is sacrificed for Scott McTominay and receives a huge round of applause by the Manchester United fans. And well he might, he has been very impressive today. Scott McTominay is now on in his stead. And the ball is cleared forward there. And under pressure is Romero. Manages to find Dyer. Dyer who heads the ball but only succeeds in giving it to Fernandes. And here's McTominay with his first touch of the ball. And it's Fernandes. And he now gives the ball to Dalot. And Fernandes seems to have switched himself out to the right-hand side. And here is Luke Shaw. Gives it to Sancho. Luke Shaw. Fred. And Casemiro. Fred. Shaw. Oh, that's a handball, surely. The referee allowed it just go out to play for a throw-in anyway. So it'd be a throw-in to Manchester United with Luke Shaw. As the Old Trafford crowd give Anthony a warm round of applause as he does the lap around the field, around the touchline to go off. Of course, this season you leave at the nearest exit. None of this taking a substitute off from the other side of the pitch. And Casemiro lets that one go. Shaw wasn't expecting that, but does keep possession. Finds Sancho. Sancho, good interception by Doherty, but the ball goes out to play for a throw-in to Manchester United. And, well, they go all the way back to the goalkeeper. It really is just game management for them at this point. Headed back there by Højbjerg. Good work by him. Gives it to Lloris. And Spurs start from the back. Bissouma gives it to Doherty. Doherty gives it to Romero. Long ball over on to the far side there to Davis. Now Davis has got Perisic up with him. Finds Perisic onside. Perisic tries to find Kane in the box. He is able to find it down. He knocks it down to Son. Son just unable to break away from the United defence. Good work there by Martinez. He does clear the ball forward. It does actually give the ball away, really, but he got the ball away for Manchester United. I think that's what the most important thing is for Manchester United right now. And Højbjerg's pass to Perisic is a disappointing one and is really indicative of Spurs' performance today. We are going to see a change. Oliver Skipp is looks like he is coming on for Spurs. So we're going to see Tottenham's first change of the game. It's back with De Gea now, and he gives it to Shaw. Just knocked onto Sancho there. Sancho gave it to Fred, but Fred gave it away, and Spurs have won the ball back. but Rashford tries to win it back now, and he's successful. Rashford storming over the halfway line. In front of him is Dyer. Oh, that was a vital interception by Perisic there, because had that ball not got to Perisic, McTominay was in. That was a vital interception, and of course, here now is Basuma. Højbjerg gives it to Dyer. Looks like there's two Spurs players coming on. Ryan Sessegnon, and there's a third there. So it's a triple substitution for for Tottenham Hotspur, which is my favourite. And Dyer plays the ball long, looking for Perisic. Perisic nods it on, but McTominay tries to win the ball back, but only succeeds in knocking the ball out of play for throwing to Tottenham. And Perisic takes it quickly. And here is Basuma. And Ramiro long over on the far side to Davis. Davis plays the ball long, looking for Son Heung-min, and it just goes all the way through. The ball's just wayward there and goes all the way through to the goalkeeper, David De Gea, who gives it to Luke Shaw. And Martinez back to Shaw. Shaw clears the ball. 52% possession for United in this game. Oh, a super pass. And he's in all alone here. This could be three. Here's Bruno Fernandes. It is round the goalkeeper. And he puts this game to bed. It's Manchester United 3, Tottenham 0. But the linesman's flag has gone up. We're going to have a look at this to see if it actually was offside. He might be, actually. It's very tight. But he plays the ball through. And he rounds the goalkeeper and tucks it away. It's a cool finish, and what a pity that goal doesn't stand as far as he's concerned, because he's been outstanding today, but it is not going to stand. We've got the three substitutions now. So we've got Lucas Moura, we've got Ryan Sessegnon, and I think it was Oliver Skip. So Moura is on. We're going to take a look who's coming off in a moment, but Moura is on. Dyer's coming off, that's one. Doherty is the other. Davinson Sanchez is the other man coming on. So it's Lucas Moura, Davinson Sanchez, and Ryan Sessegnon, I believe. We'll just take a look at this. We'll just figure it out for you. So, yeah, Davinson Sanchez and Ryan Sessegnon are on. And Doherty and Dyer are off. Ryan Sessegnon. Okay. So Oliver Skip isn't coming on. So it's Davinson Sanchez and let me just see here. Davinson Sanchez and Ryan Sessegnon are on. Dyer and Doherty are off. The ball comes in now by Sessegnon, and Luke Shaw deals with it at the back. And it's going to be a throw-in. So Lucas Moura is not on yet. I suspect that change will come. So 2-0 is the score. Goal disallowed for Bruno Fernandes. Ryan Sessegnon with a throw-in, level with the Manchester United penalty area. It's back there with Sanchez. And here is Romero over the halfway line. Betancourt. Perisic. Just back here with Davinson Sanchez. And he gives it to Romero. Romero to Davis. So it looking like very much like a 3-4-3 now for Tottenham Hotspur. Ball goes out of play, be a throw into Manchester United. It is a final at the Den now, at the new Den now, and it's Millwall 3, Watford 0. And the ball is played forward and it's headed out by Rafael Varane and will be a throw in to Tottenham Hotspur. Ivan Perisic takes it. Looking for Sessegnon. Goes back now. Here's Romero. Romero goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. And it's cleared downfield by Hugo Lloris. Just under pressure there is Lucas Moura. So Moura has come on, and that was a sneaky substitution. So Lucas Moura is on, and the player that went off for Lucas Moura is Basuma. So that was a sneaky substitution. So Yves Basuma is off. So basically the three substitutions, Eric Dyer, Basuma and Doherty are off. Moura, Sessegnon and Sanchez are on. And United are about to make a substitution themselves. And that's cleared out of play by Rafael Varane, as that ball was searching for Lucas Moura. And United are going to be next up to make a substitution. I can see the players just warming up. Not sure who it is. Looks like it. Oh, yes, it looks like Moura was caught by Rafael Varane. He's on his feet now, but the throw in to be taken by Sessegnon, launched into the box, headed out by Martinez, back to Sessegnon. Fred just clears the ball. Bentancur. Back to Romero. 5 minutes left. It's high time I started looking at my player of the match. And I think for Manchester United today, it's very hard. Two choices, really, I would say, Casemiro or Bruno Fernandes. Here's Kane. I'm going to tell you what they are in a moment. Højbjerg gives it to Bentancur. Bentancur gets the cross in. Just headed out that time, but not far, only as far as Højbjerg. Højbjerg runs into the Manchester United player. The referee not buying it. Here's Casemiro. Casemiro fouled that time. Well, it's very hard not to go with Bruno Fernandes, to be honest. So we're going to have a double substitution here. Anthony Elanga is coming on, as well as Christian Eriksen are the two coming on. Sancho is coming off. We're just going to take a look who the other substitute that is coming off. So I'm not sure it's just coming off now. Oh, yes, it's Casemiro. So that makes sense. So Sancho and Casemiro are off. Elanga and Eriksen are on for the last few minutes of this game. And I think I am going to give the player of the match to Casemiro. He really has controlled the midfield today, making a lot of wonderful passes and creating opportunities. Yeah, sure, he hasn't scored. Bruno scored. They both had great games, both of them. But I just have to feel that Casemiro has really controlled that midfield today. So today's player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Manchester United's number 18, Casemiro. And here is... Oh, it just goes out to play. It's going to be a throw into Manchester United. So now Oliver Skipp is going to come on. He was ready, and there is another one coming on as well. Number 24, Jed Spence. So Jed Spence and Skipp look like they're coming on. Here's Eriksen. Well, that's a wonderful pass to Fernandes. Fernandes regains his footing. He almost lost it there. Dalot. What can he do with it? Gives it back to Eriksen. Back to Shaw. And here's Elanga. Elanga, Fred. And gives it back to Elanga. But challenging at the back there is Sessegnon. Good play by him to knock the ball out of play. So the two substitutions coming on are Oliver Skipp and Jed Spence. We're just going to have a look at who is coming off for Tottenham. But this will make up their 5 substitutions. Bentancur is coming off. And Ivan Perisic is the other sacrifice. So that's the 5 substitutes for Tottenham. Thank God. And over this, the throw-in now is going to be taken by by Shaw. And Shaw gets the ball back off Ericsson. And Anthony Elanga just challenging there with Jed Spence. Jed Spence already in the thick of things. He's just come on, of course. And, it's a bad ball. Bad ball that time by Rashford. Just gave it away. But Ericsson puts Mora under pressure and Mora knocks it out of play. And it's going to be a throw-in for Manchester United. McTominay. And here's Fred. Gives it to Varane. Varane himself has had a very good game today. Fred, long ball, over the top, looking for Elanga. Elanga, he just failed to control it. And a better first touch would have got it there. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo, what's he doing? Ronaldo has just walked off the bench. Not sure what happened there. Don't care to speculate. Here is Fred. Fred gives the ball over on the far side to Dalot. Dalot. Back to Ericsson. And here is Fred. And Fernandez just got the ball, won the ball ahead of Skip. And here's Luke Shaw now as we head into the 90th minute. It's a question of how long Andy Madley is going to add on. I don't suspect 4 minutes, which is interesting because I feel we've had less stoppages in the second half than we had in the first half. And he only added 2 minutes in the first half. So 4 minutes of this. Ryan Sessegnon gets dispossessed there by Fernandez, who knocks the ball out of play. And it's picked up by McTominay. McTominay and Fernandez. Fernandez gets the ball back and he gives it back to Varane. Fernandez. McTominay. And he gives the ball to Luke Shaw. Shaw back to Martinez. Shaw just got there ahead of Mora. And Luke Shaw now breaking forward. He's got Elanga down this side. Is he going to give the ball to Elanga? He does. Elanga gives it to Fred. Fred to Ericsson, who just knocks it back to Varane. This is game management for United at this point. It's won back by Son. Son gets the ball back. He's got a bit of space over the halfway line. He's been quiet today. He's just been kept quiet by Manchester United. He's barely had an opportunity the entire game. Same goes with Kane, really. And it's played down on this side to Jed Spence now. Spence racing away into the penalty area. Can he get the cross in? He doesn't. It's a good block, in fact, by Shaw. And Manchester United now just clearing up at the back. And it was Fred who tried to bring the ball out. He was dispossessed by Mora. And Skip. Davis. Over on the far side is Sessegnon. Back to Sanchez. Spence. Sanchez just under pressure here. Just being put under pressure by Rashford, but he gets the ball to Kane. And Kane is dispossessed by Fred. And Fred is breaking forward now. He's again been excellent today. Maybe offside there. And in fact, the assistant's flag does go up. And it will, in fact, be a free kick. So we are inside now. The last minute and a half of injury time. And it'll be a free kick to Tottenham as a result, as a consequence of the offside. It's given to Sanchez. Sanchez. Oh, nasty challenge on Mora. But play goes on. Sanchez. And he gives it to Romero. Romero. Davis. And he plays it to Mora. Mora. Intercepted that time. And I'm just not quite sure it was intercepted from. It looked like Dalot. Here's Spence again now. Spurs just looking to put on a bit of pressure, but one feels it's too little, too late. Davinson Sanchez. Here's Mora. Mora plays the ball through to Kane. Kane, and good work by Martinez. Just shielding it away from Kane. He does knock it out of play and then kicks the ball away. He'll go into the referee's notebook for that. Well, the referee hasn't booked him. I suppose as we're into the 4th minute of injury time, it is a corner. And it's to be taken by Son. And it's going to be outswung, this one, by Son. And it's coming across there with Sessegnon, but the ball goes out of play, and the referee blows for full time. Manchester United pick up the 3 points. Tottenham miss the opportunity to go into second. Goals from Fred on 47 minutes, Fernandes on 69 minutes. Of course, I gave the player of the match to Casemiro. I was very tempted to give it to Hugo Lloris. I want to give him a special mention today. Hugo Lloris would, if it wasn't for him, this game would have been 6, maybe 7-0. But as it stands, it's Manchester United that come away with a victory at Old Trafford. Final score here is Manchester United 2, Tottenham 0, and you've been listening to the Commentary Hub.